Hello and welcome to the Freewheeling Profit Growth Method. This is a short video to introduce you to the download you've just taken. The key here is I want you to get the best, most useful benefit from this tool as early as possible. So I thought it might be useful to provide you with some background to what we do and why the tool exists in the first place. So let's get started. My name is Gordon D'Silva. I'm a business expert and award-winning accountant, an international best-selling author, and a speaker. So that's enough of me. Let's look at what the problem is. There are 5 key focuses that most businesses I work with have: profits, cash flow, effectiveness, the getting out of overwhelm, value for their business in case they want to come to sell it or in case something happens that they need to sell it, and the growth of their business with confidence. And those are the key things that the business people I work with want. How about you? For most of these clients, they are finding that business is getting harder. It's harder to make ends meet. It's tighter to work in the business. Profits and cash flow are tight. If profits are down, typically that affects cash flow. If cash flow is tight, you begin to waste a lot of time in fending off creditors, chasing debtors, all of these sort of things that take up time, which don't produce any income, happens. And then that adds to stress. When you're stressed, you can't think straight. And they are so busy trying to get business in and trying to make the business work and trying to keep clients happy, they are time poor, they're struggling. And as a result, they sort of wonder, how will it end? Where is it all going? If it's going to get tighter, if it's going to get harder, if business is harder to come by, how will this end? I'm sorry about this picture. It's pretty gruesome. Let's not spend any more time here, right? So what are the benefits if you get the thing right? If you get your business right, you begin to build momentum. You begin to get going. Like in any vehicle, if you're riding a bike or driving a car, the first bit takes a while to get going, but once you get going, it's easier to increase pace. And that's what we're looking to do within our program, is first build momentum and then build pace. The result of that is profits and cash go up. We begin to increase the amount of profit we make, and as a result, a direct result of making those right decisions and taking the right action, the amount of cash we have in our business rises. This begins to build our confidence. In our confidence in staying in the business, our confidence in working the business, in confidence in expanding our business, which means that our business becomes easier to run. That's the end product, isn't it? If we get those 3 things right, we find that our business is easy to run. We got time to think, we got time to act, we got time to make choices. We have the ability to make choices because there's enough cash in the business to make choices with. So let's get back to these 5 focuses. Profits, cash, effectiveness, which is keeping you out of overwhelm, making you more effective in your business, so you spend less time doing it, running around in circles, and more time being effective, earning more money, increasing the value of your business, and enjoying the fruits of your labor. Increasing the value of your business. There are times you may want to sell your business, or you may just want to have the ability, if something goes wrong, to allow your business to provide income for you in case you can't work for it. That's back to the value of the business. And of course, you want a business that's growing, because the only way to secure and have confidence in your future is to have a growing business, a growing income, which gives you further choices in the future. So what I'd like to take you to next is the business growth model. This, I'm hoping, will put it in perspective of why we do what we do and why we think this is so important. So let's get stuck into that. Here is our business growth model, and you can see we start off at the base with being employed. Most businesses I work with, the owners have started off being employed somewhere. They then develop to become self-employed and directors of their own business. And often this is where they get stuck. Now, I don't mean self-employed and director, if you're a director of your own limited company, but you're still doing the work like an employee, then I would still class that as being self-employed, because you are employing yourself. If you don't work, the business doesn't function. Now, when you get beyond that, you get to director level. Now, what directors do, they direct. They're like the conductor of an orchestra. They decide what happens and when, who does what, the strategy of the business, the client care principles of the business. They impart the values of the business and the culture of the business. They have time to do that. They have time to think and develop their business because they're not doing it. Beyond that, you become an owner. Now, this is where you own the business, but you don't necessarily work in it at all. You may not even direct it. You have the choice to work in it or not. Now, I'm in the fortunate position of being one step above that in my model, which is the investor level. I've got several options in the fire that provide me with an income. Property, businesses, investments, and as a result, I have a choice and I choose to do what I'm doing. I choose to add value to businesses. I choose to look at bringing great value to my clients because I love doing it. It's what feeds my soul, and as a result, it's not work at all. And that to me is the biggest value in coming up this model, is that you begin to do what you love doing. You have the choice to do it or not do it. If for some reason something happens and you can't work for 6 months, or you choose not to work for 6 months or 6 years, the business will still function and it'll still produce an income. Now, I agree, without some direction, it may not produce the best income and the best quality income and growth in the world, but it'll still be there. And I know that from a personal experience, which you can talk to me about when we meet personally if you wish. But ultimately, you have the choice. And how we do that within our Profit Multiplier program is we identify what resources you've got within your business in terms of team, in terms of marketing assets, in terms of web development, in terms of testimonials, intellectual property, all of that sort of stuff, capability, client lists, all of that. We then quantify which are the easiest to squeeze more profit out of, and then we begin to multiply the effectiveness by which those assets and resources are deployed, which as night follows day produces more sales, more profit, more growth, and greater certainty. So that's the business growth model, and hopefully that is something you can see where you fit on that process. So let me ask you to pause this video for a moment and ask yourself, why is this important for you? If it isn't important for you, I'm sorry I've wasted your time, and you're already probably running a business that's amazing, growing fast, chucking out loads of profit, loads of cash, and you have plenty of spare time. You're out of overwhelm and everything is fine. So this is clearly not for you. But if any of what I've just said resonates with you, just pause the video now and write down a few notes of why this is important to you. You may want to type it out on an email and send me that email, because I'd love to hear which of these things are important for you. Okay, so I'm starting on assuming that you've stopped and restarted playing the video now. What I'm going to be introducing to you here is one tool. We have a whole section of tools that do different things, but what I wanted to do is give you a flavor of a simple tool that you could use right now. It may only take half an hour or 2 hours or something to run, but it will have an impact. And importantly, it has an impact on all the 5 focuses we talked about. So this tool is an important one. It's a simple one. It's one that's easy for me to communicate to you. It's one that's easy for you to work on your own to get the benefit of and get some momentum. Do you remember we talked about getting some momentum, creating some space to grow your business? And that is the freewheeling profit growth method. You've already downloaded the sheet. Let's go in and have a look at some of these steps, and I'll walk you through them. The list. You should easily be able to take out a list of your clients. You should be able to go to your accounting software. You should be able to press 2 to 6 buttons, and you should be able to export the list into a software like Excel, or on the Mac, I think it's Numbers. And that will allow you to do what you need to do for the next few steps. So if you haven't got accounting software, and this is difficult, I beg you to get accounting software now. The Chinese have a proverb, and it says the best time to have planted an apple tree is 20 years ago, because now you'll be getting the fruit. However, If you missed that one time 20 years ago, the next best time is right now. So if you haven't already got the benefit of an accounting software that gives you this data in minutes, then my encouragement to you is to go and get it right now. Set it up now. It is super easy these days to set up accounting software. It's cheap as chips. Something like 25 to 30 pounds a month will get you the leading piece of software that's super easy to use and gives you fantastic reporting. So go and, if you haven't got that and you haven't gone get that in 2 or 3 minutes, then now's the time to get started on that process. If you have, fantastic. Get that list on Excel and let's get moving. Within the downloads here, you'll have a little download checklist which has a spreadsheet that you may want to copy and complete for yourself. But you'll have the client's name, and then you'll have the grading for the client. We recommend grading from A to E, but it's completely discretionary. You may already have graded your clients. The best businesses in business do that already. If you haven't done it, do it now, and you'll see in the next couple of tips where we're going to go with that in the future. A clients are the ones that you really love working with. If you think of who your best clients are right now, the clients that love working with you, the clients that really get value from what you do, the clients that take advice and listen to you and love your service, tell other people about your service, refer you to others, those are your A clients. They're just great. The E clients are the absolute opposite end of the spectrum. They whinge about your fees, they don't pay you a decent fee, they don't take your advice, they don't take action, they don't implement, they don't get value because of that, and they whinge and moan and always send you stuff late, make you work really hard for your money. Those are E clients, the ones that you could probably do without. And so grade your clients A to E, and the B to D are the ones in between. The B clients are pretty good. They're not quite A yet, but they've got great potential to become A. The C ones are average. The D ones are really not very good. They're not paying you very much. They're not very listening, but they're paying you enough. They're making a little bit of money. Still hard to work with. So those are the A to D grading. So grade those clients A to D. When you come to grade, it's not black and white. I appreciate that. There's no clear thing. If sometimes you may have an E client who's a relative, and you can't do what I'm going to suggest to your relative. So you may have to do with that, and there's nothing you can do about that. It may be a very close friend, and you're in a tight spot, and you can't do what I'm going to suggest with an E client who happens to be a friend. Maybe you should, but maybe you can't. Okay, but there's going to be others in the E category. So how do you grade them? What other tips can I give you to grade them? Here's one way. Do you enjoy working with them? When you hear they're on the phone, when you see their phone number come up on your mobile device, or when your receptionist tells you that they're calling, or when you see an email in your inbox from them, do you go, oh yeah, it's John calling, or Susan calling, or an email from John, I wonder what it is, I'd love to be able to help them further? Or do you go, is it John again? Do I really want to open it? What is that type of sense you get when you hear from this client? If it's the latter, if it's deflates your world, then those are definitely closer to an E than they are to a C, right? The C are the average ones, you don't mind either way. The D and the E's are down that range, okay? And the distinction between D and E is really a fine one, I suspect, and it's a judgment call. And this is not set in stone, right? This is something that you can work with, test. I'm not asking you to bet your business on it. We're going to be testing it, and I'll show you how we do that next. So that's how we grade the clients. You've got your spreadsheet, you've got the graded. Now you can order the clients by grades. You can put all the A clients at the top and the E clients at the bottom, and it's nice and easy to see groups of clients now. And what I'm going to be doing now is starting to look at the E clients. And you can tell what I'm going to do with the E clients, right? You may be going, business is tough, and this guy's asking me to sack clients. What is going on? Well, I really would love you to sack E clients. The reason is I can almost guarantee in every business I've worked at, the E clients are the ones that drain resources. They don't put anything into your business. They may provide turnover, but remember, turnover is vanity. Profit is sanity, cash flow is reality, right? So turnover is complete misdirection. Okay, how much money that you sell to them is. We've had clients who've had clients who pay them like £15,000 or £10,000 or 2,000, whatever it is. It's large for them, but they drain so much energy from the team, from the business, from the owner, that it was not hard to grade them as an e-client. And when they began to look at this in the cold light of day, it wasn't hard to sack them. Now, you have to take a bit of a deep breath, and you may not want to do this to your biggest e-client to start off with. You may want to start with your smaller, more definitive e-clients. And build your courage up gently. I'm not suggesting this doesn't take courage, but you went into business and that took courage. So I know you have this in you. So what I want you to do is consider sacking them. Now, if you don't feel that you can sack them, what I would recommend you do is increase their prices, right? And I don't want you to just go, look, here's a price increase, take it or leave it. That's not the nicest way to get rid of a client. I think you need to do it a bit more sensitively, and we can help you. If you just write to me or email me, I can send you a couple of templates we use with clients to help them get rid of clients and help them increase fees with clients they don't necessarily want to keep. The unfortunate thing is sometimes they agree to pay you increased fees and then you got to keep them. So you got to make sure you get that right, because you may get what you don't want, which is to carry on keeping and working with these e-clients. Okay. Let's move on. Now we're going to get to the next category. So we're going up our spreadsheet or down our spreadsheet, depending on how you've ordered it. We're going to go to the D clients. And on the D clients, you may want to sack them, right? But let's not go too crazy on this first round, okay? Let's do on this first round, let's look at increasing their fees. And I'm not suggesting that, again, like in the e-clients, I'm not suggesting you just go, oh, we've increased your fees. I'm suggesting you develop a strategy for explaining to them why there is a fee increase, what has happened in your business and in your relationship with them that requires a fee increase, and politely suggest that if they can't afford it, you would introduce them to somewhere else to go. Because wouldn't you rather have your competitors losing money with these clients than you losing money with these clients? Wouldn't you rather have their team, your competitors' team, getting drained of energy and goodwill and time by these clients who are D's and really suck the lifeblood out of your business than your team and yourself? So be careful when you look at keeping the D's and increasing the fees, because you may get what you don't want, which is these clients staying and paying a fee. So make sure it is a big enough increase to compensate you for that pain, okay? And like I said, give them 1 to 5 reasons why you're increasing their fees. Alternatively, you may already have done this before, and this may be your second round, and in this case you may go, well, look, I'm happy to sack these clients because I can see the benefit that this whole process brings, and in the second round, which we'll talk about in a minute, I'm jumping the gun, you will be able to go, right, E's gone, D's gone. Okay, and it's something that it took me a lot of courage, and it took me at least 3 years to get rid of all my D's and E clients. And it was, the process took longer than I probably should have taken, but I was comfortable with that speed. Now it's up to you. You can do it in less time or more time. It doesn't matter. The key thing is you begin to do it. And then what will happen in your business is you will begin to have more time. You'll have less turnover, but you'll also have a bit more profit, because you will find that these people were sucking the energy, the time, and the resources out of your business. If you have a team, your team will be working less hard because they were busy spinning stuff for these D&E clients that they weren't getting paid for. It happens a lot, and I come across this a lot, where the amount of time being spent on projects was less than was being charged on the projects, because the clients just weren't willing to pay, but your professionalism demanded that you did a really good job for them regardless. And that's what's going to happen, is your profits will rise, your margins will rise, and your time availability will increase because you're not wasting time on these people who don't get value, who don't appreciate it, and don't pay decent fees. Okay? So what I'd like you to do with that extra time, and whether you do that with the extra money or not is up to you, is really work with your B clients. Of course, I want you to carry on working really well with your A clients. You probably do that already. You probably really look after them because you enjoy it. But I'd like you to spend a bit more time now with Bs to bring them up to an A. Give them extra love, give them extra value, and they'll be willing to pay for more of that, and they will very soon become an A client. And if they don't, even if they stay a B, you may be able to charge them a little bit more because they really enjoy working with you. They may stay longer, which brings better value to your business. There's less chasing new work. And because you already know them, you're spending less time interviewing new clients and stuff for that sort of level of income. So that's how I would like you to spend that extra time and energy with your B clients to grow them to an A. So that is really the process. Now, what I did say is I'd like you to do that every 6 months, right? I want you to do it as a second round, but in 6 months' time or a year's time or a quarter's time, you decide. I'm not prescriptive, right? I'm giving you the process, and the process works only every time, but I want you to choose where your comfort level is. Now, until you get evidence that this is working, you won't have the confidence to do it full on. Or you may just find it makes so much sense to you that you will do it full on. I've worked with so many clients, there's so many different ways of attacking this problem. All I know is it just works every time. And if it works slowly for you because you're attacking it slowly, that's fine if that's good for you. If you're attacking it a bit quicker, then you'll get results quicker. So let me ask you to pause the video at this point and just answer a couple of questions for yourself and maybe send them to me. What are your takeaways from what we've discussed so far? We've talked a lot about the problems of business. We talked about the benefits of getting things like this right. We've talked about what your business might look like if you did more of it. We talked about grading your clients and from A to E and getting rid of a lot of the E's and maybe even all of the E's and even some of the D's. We've talked about increasing fees as an alternative to sacking them so you make more profit. And if they don't pay the extra, you don't mind them going because they were losing you money anyway. So let's pause there and please write down your takeaways. What's important to you? How important is it? What might you do next? And when will you do it? And when you're ready, can you please start the video again? Welcome back. So I'm presuming you've done that, which is fantastic. So what's the next step? If you need any help with the above, from the accounting software to grading clients to developing a price increase strategy, or simply how to grow your business using a whole myriad of tools that are as simple to understand, as easy to use, as effective as this one. Just click on the PDF, click on the page that you're on now. There'll be a 10-minute quick fix call, and we can get started to see how and where we can help you, where we can maybe point you in the right direction or point you to other help, or alternatively help you ourselves if that's of any benefit to you. I look forward to speaking to you soon. And remember, my name is Gordon D'Silva. We are business experts. I am an award-winning accountant. I've written an international best-selling book, which is on Amazon, which you're welcome to look up and buy. And of course, I'm a speaker. So my contact details are on there. Have a look at the website that you're on now or that is on the screen. Get to know us a little bit better. And when you're ready, let's get talking. And please, use the freewheeling profit growth method. It only works every time. Please take action. Take action now. Get your calendar out. Decide when you have 1 hour or 2 hours to put towards this project and get started. I look forward to hearing your success stories. And remember all those notes you made on takeaways and what's important to you? Please consider putting them on an email. Take care of yourself.